Buongiorno Italy!
Italy! We're in Italy! Finally! We flew into Firenze, Florence, and we had half the day when we got there, so we got all freshened up and then we started to take down the town. We hung out at the Piazzale Michelangelo at first, and while we were up there and we were watching the beautiful view, we saw some thunder and lightning, which was crazy because it was hot where we were. But we stumbled upon this beautiful gelato spot, which is actually called La Strega Nocciola Gelateria Artigianale. I hope that I'm saying that right. But it is the best gelato I had. And when I looked online to read up about it, we didn't realize it was actually voted one of the best gelaterias in Florence. So we had such a great experience. Like, I can still taste the gelato in my mouth as I'm talking about the place. But the next day we went to this beautiful spot called La Menagere. We heard about it on TikTok, and this place is like Anthropologie, but a non-manufactured version. It was so beautiful. It had a beautiful flower market in there, a little shop, and the food was so good. We had some really delicious botarga pasta. And if you don't know what that is, definitely look it up, try it. It's so good. But this spot was so cute, and their cocktails were really good too, by the way. But it's also very close to the cathedral that is very famous in Florence, and I love this area so much because the first time I ever went to Florence, it just was like very vibrant and beautiful. But yeah, that was our time in Florence. That night we did drive up to Bagni di Lucca, and we met up with our friends that are getting married, and it's about 20 minutes drive from Lucca itself, but we drove up there and we had a good time meeting his friends and her friends, and so that was cool. And then the next day, Olympia had booked this vineyard tour with wine tasting, olive oil tasting, and a lot of food, and it was such a wonderful time. I mean, we even had this moment of gratitude because we have traveled here, and for some of the group that we were with, you know, a few of the people, they hadn't even been out of the country before. And so, I mean, for my husband, Andrew, he had never been out of the country, like overseas. And for him to see Italy, he was like, the first few days, he was like, yeah, I could be here, you know, it's another world. But it was such a nice time to be able to sit in that gratitude and be like, wow, we're here with friends, we're enjoying good food, we're having good wine. There was actually something very historic about this vineyard too, is that it was next to a castle. It's on the same property that was bombed during World War II. And there was a lot of history there too. It was kind of cool to hear about. But in Bagni di Lucca and Lucca, it's like in between, there's this famous bridge called the Devil's Bridge, and there's a lot of myths on how it was built, but it was a really cool thing to see as well, because we had a picture of it up at the pastry shop that me and Andrew worked at. And going back to that is we were there for our friend's wedding, who we met him because we worked at his pastry shop. He was the owner of the pastry shop that we met at, and we have become like family, and he took us to where it all started for him, and that was so special for us because it was so cool to see like where he started his journey as a kid. He started when he was really young. I think he was only like 13 or 14. And to be able to see like his hometown and his school, he even showed us like the elementary school that he went to. And just to see that, because you know, when you become friends with someone and you're getting to know them and you know them for years, but then when you go to their hometown and you see the life that they've lived, it just becomes like, I felt like so much closer to them because of that. But we also went to his brother's pastry shop, which his brother owns a pastry shop in Lucca, and they've just like, they put their heads together and made this, beautiful place. And I had an emotional moment to see how far we've all grown, and here we are, you know. Yeah, after all that pastry talk, we did have dinner. Ciao.
Ciao.
This beautiful restaurant that was like off the paved road. It was such a cute spot. It was in the mountains on the way to like where we were staying, and it's a Michelin mention restaurant. And oh my gosh, guys, the food was so good. I mean, all the food in Italy was good, but this was particularly, I think we all agreed that this was one of the best foods we had in all of Italy. And steak Florentina is my absolute favorite steak. I mean, like, we make it at home all the time, and we had it here and it was so good. They even served us this pasta that they made in a Parmigiano Reggiano wheel. So it was so cool to see, like, to eat that. And I just love food, so I'll eat it all. But yeah, I even took some of that meat off that bone, like, on my plate. I was like, I'm eating the bone. But then after that, we went to Castiglioncello. Hey guys, I'm here with Olympia. Hello. And we are here in Castiglioncello. There we go. And we're here for a wedding, but we're enjoying a beautiful villa. And we wanted to show you guys the view. It's so nice. Yeah. So beautiful. I know. Here you go. Take a look.
We've got Alex, Olympia's husband. He's fishing. He brought a rod and he's like, I'm going to try to fish in Italy. So here we are. And then we've got the rest of the crew, not all of them. We've got the groom and Andrew and some friends over here.
Enjoying the sun.
Enjoying the sun. So beautiful.
Guys, this view, look at it. It is so beautiful. It was so blue. The water was crystal blue, like beautiful. But it was such a good idea to have this wedding in this villa. And, you know, we all were together the day before and the day after. And it was just such a great experience to be able to be there together, spend time together, and just be able to see, you know, their families and their friends as well. And just a beautiful experience to, see Italy in this way. But they're such a gorgeous couple, and they're just like I said, they're like our family, and we wish them nothing but the best. Now, after the wedding, we went to one more stop, and that was Rome. And on the way to the train station, actually, I had to drop off the car that we had rented. Let me tell you guys, I literally almost missed my train ride. I hopped on as it was about to close the doors and move. But I ran to the train station with people yelling, bye, bye, on the way. It was such a movie experience. Like, I wish somebody was recording. But yeah, thought I would be left alone in the train station and I'd have to figure out another ticket to get to Rome. We did go to quite a few touristic-y more places, but that's part of the fun, right? So we did get to see the Trevi Fountain, and yes, it's as gorgeous as people say it is. But it was a lot of walking in the heat, and we just we did have a good time. But yeah, we mainly just focused on eating. And I know we saw the Spanish Steps, we saw the Trevi, but a lot of the places that we kind of stumbled upon, not the places that we planned to see, but those were the places that actually ended up being really fun. But yeah, overall, it was such a wonderful trip. We had a great time, and we're just so blessed to be not only invited to be part of this journey that they had for their wedding, but also to have this kind of experience with our friends.